I have got 12 fragrances right here that are just legitimately blowing my mind. I try to do these several times a year where I kind of go through my collection and I look at what are the things that I am sort of most amazed by that I keep going back to over and over again, and I've got 12 of them here. I do want to call attention to the obvious because I'll probably get some comments in the chat. Yes, I had an appointment with the barber yesterday. It turned out that he was a butcher. I didn't know that ahead of time, but I found out when he heartlessly removed about a year growth off of my beard. I probably will end up pressing charges or defaming him online or something like that, but just wanted to let you know that's what happened. It will be back eventually. All right, here we go with this list of 12. As we get going, remember to subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and give the video a mind-blowing like if you like the video. And let's go ahead and begin. All right, this first one, this has been on my list for 2 years since it came out, and it did not let me down. As a matter of fact, it more than met my expectations. I'm talking about this one right here, Kenzo Homme EDP 2022. This is an aquatic leather fragrance, and you've got this gorgeous blue, sweet aquatic with a realistic leather note, a little bit animalic, and a wonderful creamy sandalwood. It is so very unique. I have nothing else that smells like this. It's so attractive. I've already gotten a couple compliments and I've only had it for about a week. This stuff is awesome. Kenzo EDP 2022. Had to get it, and I'm so glad that I did. All right, this next one, let's go with this one. This one is an oldie but a goodie, and I've got a number in here that are brand new. But this one's been out for a long time. I got it probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it is amazing. I'm talking about this cheapie Dunhill Icon, of course, by Dunhill. This one's been said to smell like grape soda, and there is something about the way that the neroli and a little bit of citrus and some black pepper in the opening provide this sort of effervescent, sweet, almost soda kind of feel with a little bit of kind of a grape fruitiness. It's remarkable. And then you go down into some darker notes, some woods and some leather and things like that. I mean, this is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. If you don't have it yet, you might want to seriously consider picking it up. Like Fragrance Buy usually has it for less than 40 bucks. Dunhill Icon. All right, this next one. This one is actually a clone. It is Al Wataniya's take on 1 Million Royal. I'm talking about, I think you pronounce it Redea or Redae, something like that. And this is basically a sweet fragrance that's got some dark, earthy characteristics in the base. If you have smelled Invictus Victory Elixir, it's in the same family, but it's not quite as dark or incensey as that one is. But there are some definite similarities. If you have smelled 1 Million Royal, this one is pretty close, and this was like a $30 fragrance. Highly recommended. Beware these very sharp metal stickers on the front. They will slice you. I bled twice in the first 12 hours. I just now poked myself that I had this bottle. Legit, I just now poked myself. You probably can't see that in the camera, but yeah, I got to take those off. They are dangerous. All right, next up, let's go with this one. This is from Frappan. This is a niche fragrance, but you can get it for about $70, and it is worth every single penny. This stuff is absolutely gorgeous. I'm talking about 1270 Extreme. I mean, even the bottle's a work of art. You've got that gilded engraving. You've got this real wood cap that's also engraved. I mean, this is just really beautiful presentation, but of course the juice is what counts. And you've got pineapple and you've got apple in the opening. You've got a booziness. Frappan is a liquor company, and you've got a booziness that is in the fragrance. You've also got some elemi, you've got some cedar, some jasmine, you've got a touch of rose. In the base, you've got tonka bean, vanilla, guaiac wood, and patchouli. I'm listing all of the notes. I can't necessarily pick all of them up, but I can tell you that this is a sweet fragrance with a lot of lift from the woods and the florals, and it's so interesting with the patchouli. Super unique. This smells like wealth. It smells like money, and the fact you can get it for less than a designer is absolutely remarkable. This next one, talk about good performance. This one's bordering on beast mode, and it is one of the Barouge fragrances, which I've been impressed with all of them that I've tried. This one is Barouge Mysterious, and it's basically a cross between Herba Pura and BR540. But I will tell you, because of the BR540 and some other tweaks that they made, it's not as syrupy sweet as Herba Pura. But it is sweet, and it is mysterious for sure. It's got this sort of allure to it. There's a very textured aromatic heart in this fragrance, and there's a good bit of lift of airiness from the BR540. I can't really describe it other than to say this is a fruity fragrance that does magic with the sillage in the way that it creates this scent bubble. It is very alluring and addictive. I keep going back to it. Some will consider this too feminine for sure, but if you can do unisex fragrances, this one's definitely worth checking out. All right, this next one. Some people consider this to be the best clone of Layton. I'm talking about the Woods Collection Dusk. And this one does do the woodiness and the geranium in a very complex, very high quality way. You've got that gorgeous sweet vanilla, and you've got those spices mixing in almost like a, like a spiced pastry, like an apple pie or something like that. But the woods and the geranium and the musk in this fragrance give it a texture that you're not going to get from something like Al Haramain Detour Noir or the Maison Alhambra clone. I forget what that one's called, but nevertheless, if you want a really high-end dupe of Layton and you don't mind a touch more woods and geranium, this one right here, Dusk by the Woods Collection. All right, next up, this one's a niche fragrance, and this one is probably the most impressive niche fragrance that I own. I'm talking about Nishane Fan Your Flames. This is absolutely incredible. This is a coconut rum fragrance. There's also some black pepper. There's also some tobacco. And so you get this opening that's going to remind you of like a tropical drink, but very soon you get into a textured, almost leather-like mid and dry down, and that tobacco is so very rich. That spice is so, everything about it is so complex. It's multifaceted. If you want to know what a super high-end niche fragrance smells like, and you like a tobacco fragrance, I cannot recommend this enough. Fan Your Flames. This stuff is absolutely incredible. All right, next we'll go with a clone. We're going back and forth, niche, designer, clones. This one is from Zoha, and I would say it is in a similar family as the one that I just showed you. This is Zoha's take on Raja Parfums Enigma or Creation E. This is Arcane. They did such a phenomenal job. Look how much I've used of this bottle in just, I don't know, 3-4 months that I've had it. This stuff is amazing. It has cognac, vanilla, tobacco. It's got benzoin, black pepper, patchouli. And again, the quality of this fragrance is legitimately almost on par with the Nishane that I just showed you, except I think you can get this for around $40. If you like that sort of root beer, cola, fizzy, textured, gorgeous complexity from Enigma, then you're really going to love this one, Arcane by Zoha Aroma. I can't say enough good things about that one. All right, we'll go with another one that is a clone, and this one's become one of my most worn fragrances of the past month. It's overpriced still, but the price is starting to come down. This is Armaf Club de Nuit Préchaud. It is Armaf's take. It's a bit of a twist on Absolute Aventus by Creed. It's got that, fresh, spicy, woody, twist on Aventus, but this one adds in a pear note and a caramel note that adds some sweetness, and there's also a certain kind of brightness, like a little bit of a zest that's in the opening, that I prefer this over Absolute Aventus. I like sweet fragrances. This one's got a good bit of sweetness, and it is gorgeous. It's addictive. I absolutely love it. I've already gotten a number of compliments in the past month. This stuff is awesome. All right, we'll go to another niche fragrance now. This is a Xerjoff. You're going to notice it's a 1 ounce bottle, but that's because you can get the 1 ounce bottles of some of the Casimirati fragrances for like 55, 60 bucks. This is Casimirati 1888, and it is a gorgeous, kind of woody, incensey, floral fragrance. There's a touch of rose in here. There's a little bit of carnation in here, but there's also some pepper. There's some elemi, kind of a dark resinous vibe. If you owned the Biltmore house or a castle and you're walking around smoking a pipe wearing this poofy velvet $2,000 robe, you would be wearing Casimirati 1888. It smells like money, wealth, opulence, luxury to the extreme, more than just about any other fragrance in my collection. I would say guys under 30 probably aren't going to like this, but it is an awesome night out, formal wear, very impressive, attention-grabbing fragrance, Casimirati 1888. Okay, next, this is one that has been around for a little while, but it's easy to forget about some of the fragrances that wowed us 5, 6, 7 years ago. And this is one of them, and I have been wearing it and just been blown away by Givenchy Gentleman EDP. This is, of course, an iris fragrance, but it is different than Valentino Uomo Intense or Dior Homme Intense in that it's darker, it's richer, it's got a little bit of an earthy feel, sort of a patchouli that's got some earthiness to it. It's got a decent dose of sweetness. The iris is not as pronounced. If you want a rich, complex, luxurious fragrance, this right here, Givenchy Gentleman EDP. I love each of the main iris fragrances for different reasons, and this one is just worth all of the hype and more that it's ever gotten. All right, next I'll go with another one that is a clone, and this is a brand that I could have put 4 of their fragrances in this video. This is Generic Perfumes, dupe of Altair, Parfums de Marly's second to newest fragrance. This stuff is absolutely gorgeous. It is a vanilla praline fragrance. It's got the texture of this fragrance. They absolutely nail it. They nail the complexity, the richness, the texture of Altair. It is a sweet fragrance. It's a loud fragrance. It is a strong, long-lasting fragrance. They did such a phenomenal job, and this is their A+. It's their mid-level version. I guess that would be like Parfum strength. Generic Perfumes, Altair, A+. So I took longer than I planned to, longer with that, but let me know down in the comments, what would you add to this list? Have you tried any of these, and what do you think of them? Remember to subscribe and give the video a like if you liked it. I'm Justin. This is Sillage Scents.